Hi, everybody. All right, I'm going to do the one thing we've all been waiting for, 2017 forecast. It's going to be a good year. All right, this has been on my mind for a while, and it just feels like it's time to just do this thing. I know we got a few weeks left, but let's just be a little impatient and then find out what 2017 is going to look like, okay? So I'm just going to relax and then enter into the vibration of the year 2017 for humanity. They're showing me cake. They're showing me several tiers, but it's just all the same. It's not like big tier down here, smaller, smaller. It's all one, and it's like kind of tall, and it's got frosting and cream all the way on top and then all the way around. And so when you put the knife in, you're like cutting, whoa. And like even if it was a really thin slice, it's just still enormous because it's so tall. I mean, there's probably 4 cakes here. The frosting in between each rounded, cake, and then frosting all around it. And then a knife going in slowly and cutting through all of these. And they're really moist. There's something, I mean, it's the most delicious cake ever. It's really well done, well baked. Frosting is perfect. They keep showing me the same thing over and over again. The knife going slowly in and cutting the first piece. It never cuts it. Excuse me. It never cuts it. It does one cut, but it doesn't do the other cut so you can actually make a piece and then pull it out. They're saying, just be patient. Just be patient. Why do you have to decide, Abby, when the cake piece will be fully cut and then pulled out? Why do you have to decide? Why can't Spirit decide when we're going to cut the cake piece and pull it out and share it with everybody? Maybe Spirit would like to decide when. Maybe Spirit. That's what they're saying. It's like these whiny humans, they just want their cake already, and they want to eat their cake already, but yet they don't seem to care that Spirit would like to decide when the cake will be fully cut. So just chill out. That's what they're saying. Just chill out. It's like, you're taunting me. Super cake here, knife slowly going in. Am I ever going to get my piece? I'm like a child standing here drooling. Give me my cake, give me my cake, give me my cake. And Spirit's like, I'm the mother. I decide when you're going to get your cake. Or if you're ever going to get your cake. That's how it feels. They're showing me this scene. They're showing me a woman take some frosting and then enjoys the taste of the frosting. But never fully cuts the slice of cake. And there's nobody necessarily here waiting for it. It's just her and the cake right now. One cut into it. But she doesn't seem to be in any hurry herself. It's as if she just baked this and there's several hours before family will be home and we can have yummy cake after dinner or something. They keep showing me an odd scene of some sort of, I don't know, Star Wars type huge object in space. It kind of keeps cutting through this scene. And it's kind of like, it's not the warm, cozy Star Wars. It's more the, why do I see, it's like massive, massive type of spaceship that's actually going up and down in this way. It's not flying across the scene like this. It's just a massive like rectangular shape and it's going upward. And it keeps, so we have picture of nice woman, mother at home, bakes awesome cake, just finished it, took a finger dip of the frosting, tastes good. In this cozy setting, we it's sort of huge rectangular like super ship coming through, and it's, it's like the Empire strikes back or something. I don't know. I just hear the sounds of the Star Wars sounds of the scary. I'm just waiting. And I feel frustrated. And it's just because I'm tired of the Star Wars sounds of scary. I want to just sit here and enjoy my freaking cake and be happy. They say, how many human beings do you think want to just sit there and enjoy their cake already? And we will not cut out the slice and give it to them so that they can enjoy it. Why do you think that is? Why do you think you cannot get your cake yet? That's what they are saying. It was like, man, now I'm going to be a crybaby and I'm going to go to my room and close my door and then cry. There's something childlike about the way this feels. But yet I don't have the ability like a child to just get over things and just accept and just allow things. I mean, I want. But they have a much faster turnaround time, and if you say no, they get really bummed out, but then they go play and they just don't think about it anymore. So they're much better at being patient than we adults are. So I see both the scene of kind of Darth Vader style with all these guys walking, but then that scene sort of gets foggier, and now I'm looking at a girl with her. She kind of looks like a teenager, kind of head down, like she fell asleep at her desk or doing homework at home or something, wearing a very bright red sweater or turtleneck or something. It's bright red. She has long brown hair. She is exhausted beyond measure. It's like she has to do homework or she has to get this done, but she has been trying to get this done for years and she is absolutely brutally so exhausted that I just can't get it done and it's never going to get done and I just need to sleep really bad because I'm worn out. That's what her energy field feels like. It's just so bitterly exhausted. Just worn out. They ask me they show me the cake scene again. This time they do show that it has been sliced and now this cake piece is being cut out of there and being put onto a plate so it could be eaten. They say, well, there's something of a question here. Would this help the exhaustion go away? If we just cut this into this cake and gave you the piece you've been waiting for, your piece of the pie or whatever, would this help take away the exhaustion? They say, does joy help inspire a reduction in the feeling of bitter exhaustion? They're just leaving it at that. There is a contemplation here about human beings creating joy joy for themselves in other ways. Let's not wait on spirit for this specific cake, this specific slice. There's other ways we can find joy. Be the child and go pull out your toys while you're waiting for your slice of cake. Go find other means to create joy to help you through the waiting process, the experience of having to be patient for something you've been waiting for a very long time, which is your version of joy. Your dream come true. What would satisfy your soul? Sometimes they're talking here, sometimes what satisfies our soul today is not something we thought they're showing me what are human beings waking up to new versions of awareness. So 10 years ago, you may not have cared so much about politics or war or what's going on across the globe. You just kind of watch it on the news, but you're just trying to keep up with your own life, and that's just the way it is. Trying to, keep up financially and give your kids the best life you can and all of that. And now, 10 years later, you're starting to see that what your soul actually desires as the cake and the slice is just a happier freaking world already. I'm just so tired of war. I'm just so tired of political garbage. I'm just so tired of all the media mayhem. I'm so tired of the financial system. I'm so tired of all of this crap all the time. So maybe now, what would have been your piece of the pie 10 years ago, or your piece of cake, is different today than it was then. So there's something to this. There's something to asking ourselves deep down, what truly is this cake all about? What truly would actually lift your spirits of exhaustion? A happier world, a better place to live in. Can that happen instantaneously, or does that trickle over time, manifest over time? It's not something that, bam, wow, new world, yay. All of a sudden, we're all living in harmony. If human beings had the ability to just not go to work, you just don't go to work. We all just enter into the streets and just demand things. We don't want war anymore. We want cures to, diabetes, cancer, heart disease. We want the cures because we're tired of the race for the cure. Millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. There's something about this. We're tired of ... We want the freaking truth. We want to see joy. We want to heal now. We want to support each other now. We want to love each other now. I mean, it doesn't, people aren't confident. People don't do that. So you have to allow these shifts and changes to gradually take place over time. A little bit here and there. It's what they say. If human beings had the ability to just start loving each other and just not care about money anymore, just leave all their jobs behind, start growing gardens and sharing the fruits of the earth with each other, start cleaning up the oceans and make that their job and livelihood, start doing all these things. If human beings just, bam, okay, today let's all just do it already, because that's what we should have been doing all along. There's so many egos and facades and different variations of experiences taking place across the globe. It just can't happen like that. People have to awaken a little bit at a time, here and there. You can't just take a seed and now you have the redwood tree. It too has to grow and develop and then discover and then be. And time is a part of that. Patience is a part of that. Growth and development, a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of rain, a little bit of love is a part of that. Things don't just happen like this, and that's okay. They say it's okay. You would tell your child that too. The cake is ready, but you can wait until after dinner, and that's okay. The kid can be like, but I just want a slice now. Well, you gotta wait until you eat your dinner. Now you gotta wait 2 hours and look at it. And you can't have any of it. But they're talking about, please go find, if you haven't had your slice of the cake yet, there's so many other experiences of joy you could be having instead of just focusing on this one. And it doesn't have to be world peace. It could be, it could be anything. I want to find my soulmate. I want to just feel happy every day. I want this project to be successful so I can make some money. I want to become self-employed. I want to, it could be so many different things. That one thing that you've just been really focused on, that one sort of variable of your life that you really want a shift or a change in the experience. You want some answers. You want to feel happy and that it all is coming together and making sense in a way that just satisfies your individual life. There's sort of an individual part of this picture, and then there's the bigger world part of this picture. But they're, emphasizing to allow yourself to experience other versions of joy while you are waiting, is what they say. So I go back to this girl who's sleeping but she has her eyes open and her, like head down on her arm like this. And she's looking at this paper. She has a pencil in her hand. She doesn't feel as exhausted right now. In fact, she's starting to get a little bit more momentum and inner power. It's just emphasis, I can do this. I'm back on the train. I'm back on board. And I don't know what that little freak out was. I just couldn't do it anymore. But you know what? I actually feel revived for some reason, and I feel motivated, and I'm so motivated, so much more motivated than I felt in a while. And I'm ready to do some things. I'm ready to get this project back, I'm ready to get back on it. I'm ready to satisfy the goal, the dream, and then complete it. Something of that kind here. Because she's far more motivated. Even though she has her head on her arm like this, I can feel her heart and her joy coming back to her. It's just passion. It's passion without, trying. Like, it's something about, you get into a daily grind and then it just gets hard to get up and then do the routine over and over and over and over and over for years and years and years. But something about, how do you ignite the passion again in your heart? You got to switch it up. You got to make things interesting. So you decide you're going to get a new job and a whole new experience and, who knows what it is. But suddenly it's like, I'm kind of excited and looking forward to this. And I can get out of bed again. I'm more motivated again. Because you just switched a little bit of a variable. And in this scenario, she's not changing anything. She just energetically shifts. She just energetically shifts from feeling extremely beat, worn out, and exhausted. And whoa, that was kind of strange. I actually feel awesome again. I feel like myself again. I feel like I can do this again. We don't know why that just happened, but it did. The fact of the matter is, she's motivated, but she is not doing anything. She's motivated, she's awake, she's alert, she's inspired, but she's not doing anything. Why is she not doing anything? She's starting to go into a fog of daydreams. It's like, okay, I'm ready to get started, but I just want to kind of chill a little bit longer. And so she's going into a fog of daydreams. Like, she's just, she's not asleep, she's awake, but she's just daydreaming about things. She really is dreaming about something. It seemed like she already knew what she was going to accomplish, but in this experience, she's still formulating it. She's thinking about the impact it will make. She's thinking about how she will put all the fine-tuning of it. She's thinking about all of the details, but not just about the creation, about what this creation can do. I mean, this really has to do with her putting her ideas on paper and sharing them. But it's not necessarily that either. Sometimes I experience what is it that you want from your heart? What is it that you would love to see happen in your life from deep down in your heart? What is your heart saying? Deep down in my heart, if I could have anything in this life, deep down in my heart, it would be this. It would be to win the lottery, to, travel the world, to, have a bunch of, hot babe girlfriends. No, you got to connect with your heart and ask your heart, what do you truly want? I just want to know what stability feels like. Emotional, mental stability. I just want to know what it is like to fall in love with somebody. I just want to know what it's like to actually have some financial stability in my life. I would love to just, excuse me, know what that would be like. I would just love to know what good health feels like. About this annoying cough or These are the things you ask yourself though in your heart. Ask yourself what it is, what do I truly want deep down inside? It's not, and it's real. So sometimes it's not just necessarily I really want to come up with a solution to world problems. Sometimes it's, I just want to feel this in my life, in my individual life. So they show me on the level of individual wants and then global wants. They show that to me for 2017. Human beings exploring individual wants and global wants of a deep and wholehearted nature. They're actually digging down deep and asking their hearts. They're asking you, do you believe that human beings next year will actually care in their hearts about changing the world? Actually care in their hearts about genuine, heartfelt, love-based desires, needs. They say, do you see why Spirit can't just give you that slice of cake? There's so many human beings with needs of development and self-discovery of different kinds. And how do you blend all of that together into a moment where everybody is on the same page? You see why it just trickles in, change trickles in, and generations change. And there's constant shifts of awareness going on within us all. They are saying there will be more of an experience and shifts of awareness and voices of caliber coming out and really wanting to see a better world, and people really exploring what would make them truly happy in their hearts, in their individual lives. There's going to be more of that energy and contemplation going on. People may not be jumping on, solving all the problems, but they will be dreaming and thinking and feeling and exploring. That's what they say. I'm exploring the cake scene with the woman and the scene of this sort of gloom and doom spaceship. And in this exploration, why does it have to be in the forefront? Why does it have to be blocking her and that? Why can't it be behind her? Why can't it be behind her? I mean, why is that what we see? Why is gloom and doom in the forefront of our experience of enjoying some cake? Like, why is that come first all the time? Why are we putting gloom and doom first all the time? It should be behind the scene with a happy woman baking a cake. Love should always come before gloom and doom. Not love and then, oh, gloom and doom. That's all I can see, gloom and doom. There's something to that. Say, how do you take gloom and doom out of the forefront of the picture? How do you help human beings to see the value of love over the value of anything else, so there is no such thing as gloom and doom? How many human beings are ready to let go of those scenes of terror, darkness, misery, drama? Do you think human beings can actually find peace and joy in a world where there is no drama? They could actually choose a world where other human beings are not being hurt. Just because it's not before your eyes doesn't mean it isn't really happening, and it isn't terrible for those who are experiencing it. There's a conversation about soul incarnations. If you aren't experiencing it today, how do you think, what do you think about experiencing that in the next lifetime? So you can go to your job and have a cushy experience, feel miserable, stressed out, and unfulfilled day after day after day, but you know what, this is good enough. And then in the next lifetime, you get to be the starving child. You get to be the pregnant woman raped in Africa with her breast cut off and then we'll just stab the baby. You can be that person next time. Maybe you got it good this time, but next time, why don't we start thinking about these things? Start expanding the idea and expanding beyond is basically what it is. These two are the types of thoughts and the types of self-awareness moments people are going to start having in 2017. I mean, it's really about that. It's really about deep thinking and self-discovery on an individual level and then on a global level. That's really what they're talking about. They show me just what would be the political forefront. So we have a podium, and then we have flags, and then we have a speaker. They show me nobody shows up to hear what they have to say. What this, president or, this political face, nobody's there. I'm hearing crickets. While this person is the flags, there's so much of that sort of loyalty to country kind of energy. And, what is the wisdom that is being shared that we can all root for and believe in, even if it is, putting so many people in an even worse state of being. Nobody shows up. There's nobody there. There's crickets there, chirping. There's nobody there. Fascinating thing is, there's nobody there. There's the idea that a political speaker will come to talk, but there's no political speaker that ever shows up. And there's never an idea of whether or not followers would be there or not. There just isn't anybody there, period. There's only the podium and the flags and that kind of energy of, celebrate our country and our country's ideas and our country's choices, and good or bad, we support. It's kind of the feeling. Nobody shows up. It's just crickets. I'm trying to create people showing up. I'm trying to create a political speaker. I'm trying to create a different version of understanding, but they're not allowing me to alter or shift the image. They're just sharing this image. There's patience. There is the energy of patience, right? So they're helping me to feel time passing, nobody ever showing up. And they show me what is a garbage. All this stuff is starting to decay into the ground, like it's turning into a garbage dump. I mean, there's something really creepy of like a desolate land where nobody could even live. And all this stuff is just it's acidically rotting away. It's not naturally rotting away. There's no plants growing as this podium starts to rot away just naturally. It's an acidic type of thing. This ground, no plants can grow from this ground. Nothing grows here. There's nothing growing here at all. I'm still watching the podium slowly rot away. And nothing is changing, just this, slowly watching. It's like slowly watching the paint dry. It's like watching the grass grow today. That's what this is like, slowly watching decay. But there's nobody to watch it even. There's nobody to speak about it. There's nobody to have a voice. There are no physical bodies. There's nothing. It's only decay. Decay of a very acidic, disturbing kind. like there was a nuclear bomb or something. Like everything died and nothing could grow, and there are no sounds now. There's no crickets, there's nothing. There's still nothing. Even after everything is rotted away, there is still nothing. There's nothing. I'm entering into the scene myself. I am a body in the scene now. I wonder what has happened here. There's no evidence of what had happened. There's no podium at all, period. There's just dead ground. And in my mind, I wonder what had happened here. What was here before I came? What happened before I showed up? I touch the ground and examine the dirt and wonder if there's anything buried here that might help me understand what had happened here. There are no remnants of any kind. I brush this dirt and there seems to be something here, like a pin or a button. Some symbol of a time long gone. I don't really care anymore about what had happened. I just care about seeing this earth come alive, and I just want to see the earth growing, trees and plants, and hear the water trickling and running, and it's something about the earth is bleeding or the earth has been damaged severely. This isn't just pollution or degradation of land or anything, or too many chemicals or whatever. This is also blood spilt, because they show me this soil is full of blood. It's been soaking up blood for thousands and thousands of years. Even I am starting to stand in pools of blood that is coming out of the earth now. And I'm just sort of, how many bodies have been murdered on this planet and blood shed into the earth actually drinking the blood of violence. There's a really grotesque and disturbed feeling that I am developing here, as this earth is showing me many, many dead piles of bodies, like a garbage dump of bodies. Piles and piles and piles of dead bodies. And it's just, I'm standing in maybe a half a foot of just constant blood everywhere. They're starting to show the mirage of the podium again. And they're showing me that all of the supporters are dead. And all these bodies and bodies and bodies of people. That's who came. They're showing me myself as the only living being in the scene. So you see, the podium is returned, right? We have bodies and bodies and bodies. I mean, they're showing me different types of war uniforms, even Nazi patches, and different time frames and such. And then I'm the only living body. And so I'm actually walking up and examining this podium, and I discover I am standing behind the podium. I am the voice that is choosing to speak for change. I am the voice. They say, how many human beings do you think can be the voice of change? How many voices before there are no voices left? Because all the people are dead. I'm still standing at this podium. I'm looking at the podium itself. I'm looking off into the horizon. The dead bodies are starting to fade. I see a little girl. She doesn't look human, but she's got purple hair and pigtails, but it's her actual natural hair color. She's really tiny. She looks really like a pixie or something. As she's walking towards me, she's wearing a little yellow dress. I'm telling you, she's only like a foot or 2 feet tall. She's really small. She's alone as well. I'm looking at her. We're not sharing words. She continues to walk towards me. It's so quiet here. The ground no longer looks burnt or acidic or covered in blood. It looks like a beaten path is kind of what it looks like. There's nothing growing, but I don't necessarily feel like things can't grow. She's walking up the stairs to the podium, walks over to me. I am growing and stretching really, really tall. So I'm like 25 feet tall, and she's just even shorter now. I mean, she's so small. I am putting her on my hand and lifting her up towards me so we can talk face to face. I'm really tall, and I'm of a male persona, and I'm stretched really tall. I can't say that I'm stretched thin because I have body to me, but I'm definitely very stretched out. I look stretched out. And I look like I'm wearing a blue suit and a tie. I'm wearing black shoes. I don't care about the needs of this one. I just care about my own needs. I'm even inspired to just throw it away. I'm just so annoyed. What do you think? Who do you think you are? Nobody cares about you. I'm just throwing this living thing. I mean, it's different. I don't know, it's very unusual looking at it, just tossing it away. But I'm just standing there now at the podium. There's nobody here. It's just me. But yet I seem to have something important. I'm even talking out as though I'm talking to thousands and thousands of people, but there's nobody here. It's my ego. And my ego then is so big that I'm just above everything else. And my ego is so enormous that me speaking is still, I'm even envisioning that there are people just so in love with what I have to say, so just adoring fans, and what I have to say is it's so passionate, and it just comes out with just such finesse, and it's so meaningful. And I'm so stuck in my own mind and my own beliefs of how awesome I am that I can't even acknowledge anything that is actually real here. The reality of, they're saying, so you're telling me you're connected with your ego belief system and not your heart. Say, in this scene, I am so immersed in ego. I'm swimming in ego. I am so in an illusion of ego that I can't see the reality of anything. I can't even see that I'm talking to myself. I can't even see how ridiculous I'm behaving. I'm so swimming in ego that I can't alter. I can't just come down to size. I can't just let my heart come out of my chest and just be. I can't. I'm so swimming in ego. The ego is actually a disease or an illness that is preventing me from having a behavior that is kind and compassionate and loving. Ego is destroying me. Ego is destroying everything around me. Ego destroys, separates. Ego is... It's just the ego monster, Excuse me. When will the heart be at the forefront? They show me, this empire scene, the ego monster, and then the heart scene behind it with the cake. So, ego monster, when will it take a back seat to the love and the nourishment and the joy that love brings? How do we even get them to blend together so love and ego can they even balance? Or could you only have one or the other? Because sure enough, you can have ego, all right, but love is always still there. How do you make ego get smaller and smaller and smaller so it disappears and now all that is left is love? They said the only way you can accomplish it is by allowing the heart to come forward, allowing the heart to be the brain, allowing the heart to be the logic, allowing the heart to be the ego. But it isn't ego. It is natural, it's genuine, it's real. So what is it that you want to manifest from the bottom of your heart? I want the winning lottery ticket. I want a paradise vacation. I want to be on The Price is Right. I want to, hot babes. No. Some people actually want the zombie apocalypse. Like, they want that. I mean, it's like, no. What do you actually want from the bottom of your heart? We need to start doing this. We need to start entering the heart and asking these questions. And that's what they're saying. 2017 is going to be a lot about these style experiences. Really thought-provoking moments, really deep, heart-centered type of learning in order to make ego monster get smaller and love bigger. But how do you do it? Patience is one thing, and trust is another. Trust that spirit is cutting the cake, right? It's already starting to cut the cake. You'll get your slice when the time is right. Trust in spirit that everything is as it's meant to be. Okay. Excuse me. So, they're showing me a scene with babies being born. I mean, it's literally like a hospital and there's incubators and babies. I'm telling you, it's full of love here. Those who are taking care of the babies, they love their job and they love the newborns and there's just so much love in this room. Even the babies are trying to experience this world, but the caretakers are extremely loving. And then they show me rooms full of new parents holding their babies and thinking about their lives and what this means and their futures, wondering what their child will grow up to look like, or what they will do in this world, what their meaning will be. They think about love, and they feel they have the strength to persevere and to do this. I'm telling you, there's not a flicker of concern or just, I mean, the reality is most women are like, I feel in pain. I need some more medicine. Oh my gosh, I got to change the baby's diaper. I don't even know how to do that. Like, the reality is a lot more, this is just concerning than this scene. But this scene is all I'm able to feel is just the genuine love. Pure, genuine, unwavering love for this experience. There's gratitude of a holy gift from heaven in the form of a child. There's nothing else. There's no worries about how we will afford this baby. There's no worries about, I don't know how to hold it or breastfeed, or how I'm going to, breastfeed when I go back to work, or there's no question marks at all. It's just in the now moment and being grateful and happy in the now moment. I'm telling you, it's a really beautiful experience for me, because I get to feel extraordinary love of creation, love of family, love of children. It's beautiful. It's extremely, extremely beautiful. I could just stay in this. I just want to stay in this. Say, so you want to stay in a world where there's love and only love. No fears, no questions about how you will afford, no worries about health, no. So you're saying that you actually do choose a world where love exists, and that a world of love is far more meaningful than anything else. You say human beings can discover for themselves that they, deep down in their hearts, choose a world where it is love and only love. They say that. showing me again on the global scale where we choose love on a global scale, and then really deep down heartfelt experiences where we are exploring love for our lives, our individual lives. Saying this again as the message or voice of 2017. So that's it. So that's what they want me to share for 2017. Wisdom. That is just the focus that they want to share for this video. There's nothing else. They're pulling me away from the connection, so all right, so there we go. I know everything now. I know exactly what to expect in 2017. I'm totally good to go. That was totally satisfying for me. I just want to know, okay, what's January look like, February, March? What can I expect? Am I going to be awesome next year? They never say it like that. They only share these wisdom stories and helps you to understand the higher meaning and what it's actually going to feel like as a totality of a year, not on an individual scale, but on a global scale as well. And that's really, there's a lot of images in there about politics and family and then, manifesting dreams and patience and trusting in spirit and finding new versions of joy in order to satisfy your heart for those of you who are waiting for something better to come, some dream you've been waiting for a long time. That's what the wisdom is that they're sharing. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. If you're interested in experiencing one-on-one psychic wisdom or spiritual healing with me, please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.